the microinverters, the cables, the battery. We used to even sell panels, I think, some time ago. We do EV charging, etc. But when we come into the rest of the world, we come a bit humble because we know things are working differently on the ground, and you guys are used to certain brands, and you have your own experience as well. So we're not going to tell you how to throw out the rule book. You will know the grid code, the issues on the ground better than us. So we're also here to learn. Yeah. So humbly introduce us. Bob will take us through a presentation.
Hi, good afternoon. Some of you actually know me. I used to work at Saratec at CPUT. Then I got a phone call from Ralph to come and see him. I was a bit skeptical in the beginning. After that evening, I was convinced. And I'm being dead honest now. So what is Enphase about? What is the biggest concern we have in the solar industry? That's high DC voltages on top of roofs. Do you guys agree or disagree? I mean, that's the biggest concern. The biggest concern we have in the industry is fires. Right? So what is Enphase about? So I'm going to introduce Enphase to you, and then I'm not going to waste your time with solar basics. I think all of you know what a solar panel is and so on, so we'll skip that for today. Then I'll introduce you to the flagship products of Enphase, which is the IQ8 Microinverters that is being launched in South Africa. Then also we will have a look and see how our energy storage system actually can interact with other systems, like for example Victron as a third party through AC coupling. And then I'll show you the Enphase app, which makes your life as an installer a breeze when it comes to commissioning. We know what nightmares we normally have with some software to commission inverters. And then I'll show you some of the resources and support that we actually give to our distributors and also our installers and the homeowner as well. And then the Q&A, if there's any questions, just stop me. I mean, we're not a massive large group. Then we'll address your question and see if we can best as possible answer it for you. Okay. All right. So, well, this is supposed. Okay. So, Enphase is one of the biggest growing companies in the solar market at the moment. So, if we have a look in, this one's going to work now. So, it was established in 2006. Currently, there's actually more than 3,000 employees worldwide. It's actually 3,300 and something. I heard on Friday, so it's a bit outdated. I do apologize for that. We've got over 9,000 installers that installs our product worldwide. So that already tells you it's a good product. And approximately we've distributed, I think it's over 70 million microinverters to date. As I said, that's the information we got on Friday. And for that, we've actually basically also it's 45 million tons of CO2. So everyone's going green, like your petrol stations, etc. Everyone's worried about, global warming, etc. So a cumulative our shipment has been over 64 terawatt hours of microinverters, and it's employed over 145 countries. So basically, we've shipped over 3.5 million microinverters altogether. And that's approximately 23 gigawatts of DC power. So the team that we've got, we've obviously now met Ralph. We've got Justin, he's not here today. He's our field applications engineer. Then we've got Dominique, which is in Johannesburg. He's our field service technician. And then myself. Then someone that's missing on here is Anton. He's our project manager up in Johannesburg. And obviously, Roman comes and visits us quite regularly. But yeah, he's also part of our team. So what is Enphase about? So normally we have the inverter inside either the guy's garage, or in his house, or outside. These microinverters is actually installed on top of your roof. Right? So there's no single point of failure. So if we have a look on your normal DC string, when you install a DC string, if we have any shading, your normal DC inverter, hybrid inverter actually then shuts down, because of its startup voltage that goes below that. Microinverters continue to generate. To give you an idea, a microinverter will start generating with low irradiation of about 200 watts per square meter, because its startup voltage is 25 volts DC, compared to what you need to have in a whole DC string for that inverter to start up. We're looking at about 120 volts DC. So your production is actually much higher because the microinverter works per panel. It doesn't work in a whole DC array as such. the same when you look at performance. If you, for example, get soiling, leaves, any environmental conditions, etc., the performance of a string inverter drops, and it can actually also shut down, while the performance of a microinverter will continuously keep on production, except obviously that panel that has been soiled and so on. Now, the main thing is that, as I mentioned before, it's about safety first. So we all know about Vodacom. We still don't know what happened there. I'm not going to speculate, but yeah. You know, so they couldn't do anything. They couldn't. The firemen couldn't actually put the fire out because of the whole high DC voltages because that happened during the day. So with microinverters, it's a totally different situation. But as I carry on, we'll get to that. You know, so the first thing is, especially at hospitals, in schools, safety is utmost important. It's our kids going to that school. It's our grannies and so on lying in hospital, in high care, etc. So safety is of the utmost importance. So our products, what we're launching in South Africa is the IQ8HC and the IQ8H-BAT. And I don't think you're going to get a better warranty than what we will be able to offer, which is 25 years on our microinverters. There is certain conditions, and we'll still get to that as well. Now, the Enphase is a complete solution. So from your microinverter right down to your storage, etc. And we'll go through these different parts of our solution and explain that to you so you can understand it a bit better. So first of all, we're going to look at the IQ8 series microinverters. So as I said, we've got two of them. The first one is the HC, which is mainly we would say for residential applications. Now, these microinverters are compatible with panels up to 560 watt peak, right? Now, if you do have a bigger panel, although we all know there's 600 watt panels, etc., that came out, then we'll have a look and we'll go to the IQ8P microinverter, which goes up to 670 watts peak. Yeah, we've got an IQ8P here and an IQ87, which is the older model, which was introduced in South Africa. We're still waiting for the HCs to be shipped. Now, we've got, as I said, we've got a lot of resources available to you as an installer. So, which one do you use? So what we've got is we've got an online calculator, which basically you can go and you can put in your panel. So I've used here, I think that's a JA545 that I used. Just put in some temperatures of Cape Town of 2 degrees and 36 to see where your VOC high or maximum voltage, lower voltage is going to be. And then the software will identify to you which microinverter you can actually use, right? If you've got a strange panel that slipped in through the harbor from different countries, you know, we've made access for you for that as well, that you can actually put the information in yourself, using obviously short circuit current, voltage, open circuit current, etc. So looking at the Enphase IQ8HC microinverter, now because of the components that makes up the whole system, we can actually put 10 of them on a branch circuit. Now when I say branch circuit, it's white. So, yeah, this thing's very important. I'll get to this. I left the office yesterday with a couple of them. I only got one left. And they're like a big lighter. You don't get a, so this is the cable that is used for these microinverters. So on the IQ8C, you can go up to a maximum of 10 on one of those cables. It's because of the relay's rating of 25 amps. Okay. So what does the microinverter do? The microinverter takes the DC voltage from the panel and it converts it straight down to AC. So that is a three-phase cable. The single-phase cable has only got 2 wires in. So a maximum of 10 of these units you can place on one of these branch cables. These cables are pre-made. They actually get shipped in a big box with about 200 of them. And then as you order it, they come and they cut off the amount that you require. And I'll get to the other components, which then basically seals it up and makes it fairly safe. Then so if you have a look, I think they've centered around the microinverters. You'll see it's a plug-and-play system. You know, it's like Microsoft. The only difference is our product doesn't fail. You know, so you'll see on the side there is in the case of the HC, it's got MC4 connectors. So when you mount it on the rail, your solar PV panel just plugs straight in. and that cable plugs straight in. You know, so it's a much easier and a quicker way of installation.
So this little connector, that's where the panels go. That's the only DC portion of the entire plant, right? Only that part. Everything that goes straight into the micro. Everything from there is AC.
On IQ8P, it doesn't have MC4 connectors. You'll get that connector to basically for your MC4 connectors. And the same, again, that cable plugs in. Now, you can configure these microinverters to either be on a single phase or a three phase. So on a three phase run, as I said, one phase or your L1, L2, L3. Your L1, in this case, takes a maximum of 8. So when you plug in your first microinverter, that will be L1. Your second plug will be L2, your third plug will be L3. And so you actually build up the branch, but we'll have a look at it just now. The same in this case, as I said, it's got a connector for your MC4 connectors, which you plug in your DC, and then obviously from there it plugs straight into the microinverter. Again, 8 per branch circuit. So when you install these microinverters, they clamp down on your rail underneath the panel. Right? Now we all know that according to regulation, your installation must be earth. Okay? Now these units are double insulated non-corrosive polymer enclosure. So you'll see in that cable there's no earth conducting. So the microinverter itself doesn't get earth, but your installation gets earth. Right? Because of, as I said, it is double insulated. So you do not run an equipment earth conductor to the microinverter's branch circuits. So that cuts down also on expenses. You know, because I mean copper wire is expensive. Okay, but as I said, it's still mandated that it must have your rail system must be grounded, must have an earth spike in, etc. So if you have a look on those microinverters, you'll see the symbol for double insulated. This is on all our products, on our microinverter products. And as I previously mentioned, it comes with a 25-year warranty. Now, for you to enable you to get that warranty, there's another component, which is the relays. The relays must be installed for you to get the 25-year warranty. I'm going to send them out. This is the three-phase one, this is the single-phase one. And you can actually have a look at the top, you'll see they actually differ a bit. So I'm going to send it that way. So the microinverter communicates to the Enphase gateway, which basically controls the whole system, which you're monitoring, where your monitoring is managed. So let's have a look at the gateway, and then I'll get to the relays. Come on.
Just before you go there, I'll just mention about the phase and single phase configuration.
Yeah, I'm going to, it's still coming up. Okay, so the Enphase gateway communicates to the Enphase cloud. So all your monitoring, etc., everything is uploaded to a cloud where you can access either as homeowner or installer if there's any problem, etc. And it communicates with the microinverter, communicates with the IQ relay as well. We'll get to the function why it actually speaks to the relay. And then obviously your installer app, or what we call Enlighten, is a software on your desktop, which is Enlighten, where you can actually have a look at each production of each panel. But also on your app, you're also capable of doing that. So, and the communication is done via a PLC, which is actually communication over the conductors, etc. Which means that you don't have problems with Wi-Fi signals, etc. In the olden days, when you had a network, it was hardwired in. We never had problems. Now we've got Wi-Fi. Oh, Wi-Fi signal doesn't work, you know, or the Wi-Fi signal is weak. These components are hardwired in, although the gateway can use normal cell communication and Wi-Fi communication. But it's got an Ethernet port for you to hardwire it into your router, etc. And then, as I said, it communicates to the cloud. Now, when the gateway comes around, you can have a look. On a lot of equipment, we don't see a lot of visual interaction that we can have like in the old days. When you turn your car on, there's a bunch of light that comes on and tells you what's wrong, you know, rather than trying to log into a thing. So on the gateway, you'll get the first little light at the top. Tells you that it is communicating with the cloud, that there is communication. The second light is telling you that there is an access point, wireless, or if it's Ethernet, the light will also come up to tell you it's connected to a network, which is important. Then obviously on your normal routers you got at home, you know that WPS little button. You know, if you don't have the password, you go to your friend and watching the game. So it also got an access point button which you can actually link up, especially if your client doesn't know what the password is of his router. I've come across that a lot in my life. I don't know. Any of you got into someone's house, what's your Wi-Fi password? I don't know, ask my son. And then the son's someone you're stuck there for an hour or two before you can actually do anything. I mean, we've all experienced this. Then obviously a power LED, because we need to know if the thing's on, or what state that it is in at the moment. So that power LED will either be green or it will be red. Now, when it's green, the microinverters are producing. So like you start up a computer, it's software based, it starts up, it will show you red to tell you that it's on, but it's waiting for the microinverters to speak to the gateway. Okay,
can I ask you quickly, can you turn the WPS off?
On this unit?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Okay, because it is an insecurity in terms of cyber.
No, sure.
Yeah.
No, you can do
Okay.
Okay, and obviously you've got a device communication light, just telling you that everything's talking to each other and everyone's happy and so on. And then there's a scan button. It's a nice function, but from what I've heard from the other guys from Europe, don't use it. Don't tell them to use it. We'll get into that, how you actually, it does work, but it can skip a microinverter maybe and so on. But the functionality is there. But yeah, the information I got is, you know, rather do it manually, then you know for a fact you've got everything 100% correct. But yeah, then obviously...
sorry, manually there means via the app.
Via the app, yeah.
So we've got an installer app which you're going to use. It'll take you through a wizard. Typically for a grid-tied system, it's about 15 minutes to do a commissioning. During that time, the wizard will take you through all of the steps. You scan, see how many microinverters there are, you select the grid profile, and get into this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got CTs also that connects to the gateway. When you pick it all flap up, you'll actually see there's connections where it can go into. Now these CTs is normally when you purchase the gateway, you get two. That's basically packaged for a single phase. If you're going to go 3-phase, you need to then just basically carriers will know that they need to, if you tell them it's we order a 3-phase cable, they know it's 3-phase, and they'll just add 4 more CTs. Now these CTs is split core for easy installation, and the accuracy is plus or minus 1%, so it's really accurate. Now that one that's there is 200 amps, but a 400 amp CT is also available, because you can actually scale up. As we said, it's either residential or commercial. Right? So if you've got a commercial installation, you require a bigger CT is available. And then what is not on here is that, yeah, it is. The CT's wires can be extended up to 200 meters, right? Which is actually nice. I mean, we know, I don't want to call, mention other products. I don't think it's fair. But some of the CTs that we get in other installations, there's a limitation on the distance and so on, which sometimes is a bit of a pain in the backside, because now you have to put the inverter next to the DB board, and there's not always space or capable of doing that. Right, so now we're getting to the app. Okay, let's have a look at the relay. So as I said, 2 relays, single phase and a 3-phase relay. Now, these are for monitoring, it's a monitoring device and also this disconnect device. So when that relay senses that there's a problem with the grid voltage, when you've got a drop in grid voltage, or there's a frequency is incorrect, that unit will automatically disconnect the microinverters from the grid, which is a nice function. And then when it sees that the grid is stabilized and the frequency is stabilized, it will automatically reconnect the system again to the grid. Remember, this is grid-tied inverters, right? And the rating for this is IP21. So it's not IP67 like our other, like the microinverters. So obviously it needs to be inside or in an enclosure of IP67 rating. And what's nice about it, as you can see at the back, it's done well now. There's actually one in that DB board over there. And it normally comes with a 5-year warranty. And as I explained to you, to extend it, then obviously you need to make sure that the gateway is connected to the internet the microinverter and you've got a relay installed, then you get a 25-year warranty. So again, just want to have a quick look. So on the single phase, your grid will come in at the top, and then your microinverters will come in at the bottom. On a three phase, the other way around, the microinverters come in at the top, and the grid goes out at the bottom. Now, 20 amps, 25 amps. So connected in series with a 20 amp microinverter branch circuit, as we said, the IQ8Cs, you can use 10 of them. The IQ8Ps, which is a higher product, or higher wattage product, you can only connect 8 of them to make sure that you stay within the limits of the rating of the relays.
So that's on single phase. For three phase, you can times 3 that per branch. So you can do 10 times 3 would be 30 microinverters in one branch for three phase. And for the bigger product, you can do 3 times 8, 24. So you can start thinking in terms of 10s or 30s or 8s or 24. And that's how you get a piece together your branches. Now remember, it's an AC parallel network. It's not a DC series network. So you can basically plug in those branches anywhere where there's an AC reference. Right? You can plug it into the wall plug, though that's not code. You could plug it into the sub-DB board, you can plug it into a big DB board, three-phase, single-phase, wherever. Wherever there's AC reference, even if it's a generator output or a battery output, you can plug it in. And it's going to feed into those loads. We'll talk about that.
So, a three-phase relay you can actually also use as a single phase. It's got a little test button, I'll show you now when we go to the next slide. So by pushing that test button, you can actually take line 3 away, you can take line 2 away. You can also use this, let's say you've got 2 single phase circuits that you can actually put 2 single phase circuits on it. So you can use a 3-phase relay as a single phase. Or if maybe there's no stock in South Africa, which I doubt, but I mean, we know, sometimes you go and buy stuff's out of stock. And on the 3-phase relay, you'll actually see it's got indication lights. We'll just go to the next slide. So, as I said, there's the PV terminals, there's the grid terminals. Then there's that test button is the button that you use to identify L1, L2, L3 if you want one of them to not be in circuit. Then you've got your phase voltage monitoring LEDs. If it connects, and when I used to be out in above the west, we used to have a lot of pumps that used to burn out because one of the phases fell away. So this will monitor, and it will show you when one phase falls away, it will disconnect. It will protect your equipment, so you don't actually get any damage. And then obviously it's also, as I said, the frequency LED that's there. Now, when you connect these, you can use anything from 2.5 millimeter square to 6 mil square. We normally use 6 mil for connection from the relay up to obviously to your DB, etc. I've spoken about that. So this is basically how a normal, let's say you've got, in this case, it's 8 connectors. So let's say you've got 16 panels. So you'll need 16 microinverters. So 8 on a single phase line. So for each branch, you will have a relay, and then those relays will then obviously connect in parallel. Of course, your microinverters are also on the branch circuit is also connected in parallel. Where's the 3 phase one? Okay. So as I said, the cable which was sent around, that is either, as you order it either for a 3-phase circuit or you order it for a single-phase circuit, they will, by the equipment that you order, they will then cut it to length, etc. But what we've got is, and I've just sent that around now, looks something similar, that one looks a bit different, is when they cut it, the one part of the cable's open, and they will then terminate it with one of those cable terminators, right? And then also what you've got is, you'll see there's a little cap, I think I'll just send it around. That cap, so a lot of times when we do installation, especially in Cape Town, the weather's a bit unpredictable. Now, you've put your rails down, you've put your cables down, etc., and now it starts to rain. So those little clips, caps, you can just stick into the connectors, and you can actually leave your installation overnight. No moisture will enter into it. So it's always, when you order the first time, you'll get, let's say for big installation, the last installation I looked at was 156 that a guy had to order. You just order it once, you can reuse it again. But also, if you've ordered an 8-branch circuit, but the client's affordability is only for you to install, let's say 6, you can leave the other 2 open and just close them off with the ceiling cable for later on going bigger. And what is nice is you can place a microinverter on different orientations, on different roof spaces. It just makes your life a bit easier, that you're not running long distances of DC cable, etc.
Just to add one thing, so in the US, when the guys are going big time in phase, they'll have stock of all of the stuff, additional stock in the vehicle, right? You don't have to go back and forth to the depot. You've got the same product, with single and three-phase, we need to talk about that. But you have the same product you buy, so you might have a box of 18 microinverters. One customer takes 12, and you've got 6 left over, and you just roll the stock rather than ordering to the site.
So when I started off at Enphase, I was told, please tell them to buy more than one disconnect tool. Yeah, okay, fine. I know, I'm also artisan. And this morning, it actually happened. I had a couple in there, I came out with one. So when you order a disconnect tool, make sure you order more than one, because it either ends up in someone's pocket, or it falls out of your pocket, or something. So make sure you order more than one. I would advise you to order 5, if you got some spares. That disconnect tool enables you to disconnect your MC4 connectors and also to disconnect the branch cable from your microinverter. Okay. So these IQ cables are UV resistant and it's IP65 rated. Okay, so for outside use, etc. And the conductor size that's inside these IQ cables is 2.5 millimeters square, as you obviously could have a look there. Now, this one's not all. So when you actually go and how do you order this cable? Of course, it's pre-made. So it's according to your orientation. We all know a panel is about 1 meter by 2 meters, give or take. So if you're going to put it in landscape, then you can actually, they will provide you with 2.3 meter cable, the distance between the plugs. If it is in portrait, 1.3 meters. So, you know, just for your installation purposes. And then obviously, as I said, those 240, 200, and 160, those numbers just indicates how many plugs there is when, you know, on the whole reel or in the box as such. Okay, and then color coding, in South Africa, we've got, you know, for single phases red and black. Sorry, I copied this over, but it's not good. But on the 3-phase, the color coding is different than what we are used to in South Africa. Now we have spoken to, I've spoken to my head of my department and advised that they might look into changing the color coding to align with South African standards. Remember, this thing is for sold worldwide. So you'll find that the live on the installation is blue, and then you've got black, grey, I can't remember that other color. In any case, so our 3-phase cable color coding does not align. And we've actually had someone make a mistake that damaged microinverters because of that. So that's the only thing I would say, watch out when you install a 3-phase system using these cables. So yeah, cable accessories, as we went, we've gone through this. So let's get through this quickly. Sorry, these slides, I'll get to that. So when it comes to installing this, there's quite a handy app that will give you access. So we're first going to look on the homeowner side, and then I'll get to the installer. So the homeowner will be able to review the health and performance of the system. I mean, we've seen this before on other apps. That's similar. But where it's different is that you can actually view each individual panel. What is that panel producing? And you know, if you monitor over 2 days, but you see that panel number 2 keeps on giving me like 10 watts, what's going on here? Then obviously there's either a problem with the panel, or the panel might be soiled, you might have soiling, etc. So it gives you a good interface to actually monitor your production, and also looking out for faults. Then you can get you'll get a reports from your consumption. What are you consuming as a homeowner? And you're able also to monitor your live solar production and so on. And then what's nice about it is if the homeowner has a problem, he doesn't always have to phone you as an installer. He's got access to our 24-hour support line that will then support him you know, they'll tell him, okay, now it might be something small, or maybe, listen, we need to get one of our field service technicians out to come have a look. Now, on the warranty side, and I don't know if you just want to mention something about this. If one of our products goes faulty, right, you install it, you know the normal story. You have to go to the guy's house, you have to go take something out, and it's time and money out of your pocket. Now, we've got a label warranty program. One of you guys just want to quickly explain that?
Sure. So we're very confident in the very low fault rates of our product. But if there's a fault and it's less than 1 in 2,000, right, for each microinverter, then we will we'll first know about the problem before you do, before your client does. Because remember, let's say there's 20 microinverters on a roof, and one of them is not working, one panel's not working, or the connection's faulty. The rest of the 19 will work. The customer won't be hurtful that the system is not working. They won't even notice 1 out of 19 is not working. First plus, right? But then we will know, and we will then inform the installer. The installer will call the client and say, hey, I'd like to come through on Tuesday afternoon and check that particular thing, we'll fix it. We will pay the installer for each truck roll to the site and for each microinverter changed out. We'll pay you a labor rate for that purpose. Unfortunately not in dollars, it's in rand. But you can claim that there's a process for that.
Yeah, I can add a little bit. So
Sorry, Rob. There's a question.
Sorry. Yeah, we require 100% connectivity because we have a monitoring gateway. So when there's an issue, we can remotely troubleshooting, right? So either reboot the micro or try to understand what happened, right? So you can call up a customer service and we can approve RMA, right? The RMA need to be approved by our customer service people. So they're gonna troubleshooting remotely, see what's happening. Is they say, oh, the micro is failed. They're gonna approve, issue a ticket, and then the distributor actually run it. They have a C-stock. They're going to give you a new microinverter, and you go to replace it. So we pay 1,800 rent for every replacement happen for the first 2 years of the installation. Most of the failure is actually happening in the first 2 years of the installation.
Remember, it's against a 25-year warranty, which is standard.
Yeah, within 25 years. Anytime if the failure, there's failure, you call our customer service, if they approve, we're going to give you a new one to replace.
There's a question here?
Yeah. The share price is down from 319 to $78. Is there any issues within the company?
No. Let me explain a little because for the last couple of years, the company grew really fast. When I joined the company, in Q2 2020, I remember that's the low point. We do $120 million revenue. So Q2 this year, we did $720 million, 6 times revenue per quarter. What happened in Europe right now is because the last couple of years, especially last year, the demand was very strong because of supply issue. Everybody was trying to stock. Everybody is afraid of the lose supply, right? So the inventory level in Europe is quite high. This is why people worry about inventory because they got like probably 20 weeks of inventory in the channel right now. That's the entire industry. It's not just Enphase. Same for the motor guys, same for the storage, SMA. They're all facing the same issue. But we see right now is our installation is still very active. We see that. So right now our strategy is we undership. So basically, we need to clean up the channel, right? Basically, drop the channel inventory from 20 weeks to 10 weeks. So in this quarter, actually, in Q4, we're gonna undership $150 million more into the channel. So we can basically reduce the channel inventory, and same for Q1. We expect actually the business is gonna back up next year. Because our stock price was very high, it was like $40 billion end of last year. $40 billion gain because the Wall Street see the significant growth. Every quarter we beat the market, we grow every year. So right now they see slow down. A lot of investors they don't understand why it's slow down, right? But actually our business, I say, our overall installation is very active. We see that every day because we require 100% connectivity. Every project is connected, we see it. So right now we have like 3.5 million projects installed overall worldwide. And we see every day they're still. This one is effective.
The reason I'm asking is the warranty is quite long. Our Consumer Act, we are held liable.
Right.
Blind.
No, this
So-
is between Enphase. You are not alive.
Yeah, but we've got a consumer as well that holds us liable. So we understand that. So the reason the share price concerning was because usually when companies' share price starts depreciating, they start looking at what is the most profitable markets, and they pull out everywhere else. And then we're sitting with a 25-year warranty, which is
Very good
which is a
question.
problem.
Very good question. But if you look at our balance sheet, we still have $1.8 billion cash in the bank. You compare to other companies who has $1.8 billion cash in the bank. That's Enphase. Because we very serious about our warranty, so every micro we ship out, we reserve a certain amount of money for we put aside for the warranty. So we're a public trading company. You know, it's still, even after the price dropped a lot, we still have more than $10 billion.
The concern is just it's very long period. So if I'm installing that, it's 25 years, which I don't have to worry about. If I install a Victron or something, it's 5 years, maybe you're 10 tops, and you know that.
Because that warranty is with Enphase. You are also put on, so you don't need to worry. So customers will come to us and say.
So I just want to say something about 25 warranty. So why is it that no one except the module companies offer a 25 warranty? Module companies, they're forced to by the utility scale, by the banks, basically, to offer the long warranties because they know that they want quality long term. But our company is unique in the sense that we don't have hundreds of volts going through our products, which is creating heat, degradation, and dust, etc. We're unique because we're distributing all of that energy across a much larger array of products, right? So therefore, the product itself is more robust. We can offer a 25-year warranty. It's not kind of the technical risk is not there on one product as it is with any other string inverter that you buy. So just technically speaking, that's why we can do it.
Yeah, but your 25 years is based on accelerated life tests. In other words, no one knows really if it's going to
We
last
also,
25 years.
what I can
So
say
it's,
is, right now, we have over 70 million micro installed. So our overall failure rate, we know it's 0.05%. That's the failure rate out of 70 million micro installed. And I can give you some, we have shipped more than 10,000 micro installed in this country. Overall today, we have less than handful fail in this. So we can offer 25-year warranty because we have the data to support it. Nobody else has that kind of data. And also another thing by physics is our microinverter, you can see, it's pretty small, right? This one, you cook the panel is a 500 watt, 600 watt panel, right? So it's very low power. So we don't need let's say stream inverter, you have 10 panels chained together, you got like 600 watt of DC, and you're gonna put the pressure on the semiconductor, right? Because at the end, failure comes from the chip inside, the IGBT.
So I think let's not carry on. We can talk offline about this.
Well,
I think we have a presentation.
Just one more question.
Yeah,
So
sure.
are they backwards compatible? So in other words, if I install that unit, is it compatible then with the unit? So let's say there's the 7, the G7 or something.
So on your IQ7, so you can't plug an IQ7 and an IQ8 in the same branch. It's two different products. It's different software. But you can have a branch of IQ7s with a relay, and you can have a branch of IQ8s with a relay, and then obviously connect it up into your DB.
So essentially, if I have an issue with one of those, let's say 20 years time, we need to replace everything with new or
No, our IQ8 is not compared with IQ7. It's more software. It's more software. We can program IQ8 as IQ7. You know what I'm saying? It's just different firmware version. So when you claim RMA, of course we're going to ship you a one that is compatible to your system. Otherwise, it's not going to work. That we own our warranty. We guarantee we can ship you a replacement and it's going to work. So that you don't need to worry about that.
I want to get to batteries in a second, but let's just finish up with the micros first.
So it's very easy to set up the system by using the app. You can basically, obviously, enter all your system details, etc. You identify the grid profile. As you see here, it says the NASA. Our microinverters are on the whitelist, but I think the whitelist came out on none of the new ones are. It's 12th of September. October one hasn't come out yet, but it is on the whitelist. You do your meter configuration. Now in Cape Town, we know we can send back to the grid, so which is nice. The app, you can actually set the app up like that to see how much money you've spent and how much money you've made. And then on the commissioning, this one's a bit bad. You will basically identify your devices on the array. You will identify how many gateways you got, how many relays, etc. You'll put that on the app. And then obviously now you need to add the microinverter. So you can either push the scan button, but we normally take the stickers. Now I can't show you now the picture. Especially, how many was the other one, 700 and something? Durban was 700 and something.
Yeah, 720.
So the guy's got a nice big board, he's got all those little stickers. I kept track of them, I don't know. But yeah, then he basically went and scanned it in. So you'll scan your microinverters in, where you identify and map where the panel's located.
Yeah, I'd like to add 2 words to that particular project. That particular project's pretty big, over 200 kilowatts. End customer choose us because it's a perfume factory. There's a flammable chemical in the factory, so the customer really concerned the high voltage DC is their arc can cause fire. So that project, so there's a benefit because we're much safer. We have not just all AC system, no high voltage DC. Second, we've got rapid shutdown, covered. So if there's anything happen, you can turn off the inverter. You don't have production come out of the module. So another side effect, and we went to the roof, because Durban, it's a coastal city, right? So there's a lot of seagull birds. So many panels have a cuckoo on the panel. So if you just use string inverter, one drop of the cuckoo, the entire string is gone, right? So the side effect is because of that, Enphase can produce much more the electricity out of the project. So the customer is pretty happy.
So generally, for bigger projects, it becomes more expensive because you put in one microinverter for each panel, right? So anything over 200 kilowatts is quite expensive compared to a big string inverter, right? But we have some customers like this one, 700 panels. They like the 25-year warranty, they like the safety profile, they want to pay the premium. Right? The premium on the inverter is a smaller premium on the whole project, and if you're financing the project, then it's a very small premium. That you get the asset benefit of the best solar you can buy in the market. So, but I was going to say that more focus on residential, because that's where we can compete more effectively on price, and more focus on small commercial. Under 200 kilowatts, schools, fuel stations, corporate headquarters, banks, high value asset. That's where we can really do well in that space.
Okay, so basically in the app is after you've identified your microinverters, etc. You follow the steps, and then basically right at the end, microinverters will switch on and will verify everything's correct, and then obviously it'll give you an output and tell you the system's good. So it's very simple to commission. There's nothing harsh that you need to go. It's easy scanning the microinverters. Click on the next step. It'll verify and speak to the microinverter, speak to the gateway, and your system's commissioned. So now here's the battery. You want to talk about the battery?
Yeah, sure. I wanted to show this slides, but okay, we'll come to we'll start here. It's fine. Is there a video? Okay. So the battery, so we are actually also market leaders in the battery in the US. And it's really, I think, in the US because we have an end-to-end system, right, which is all Enphase controlled by one app. In the future, we're also going to bring EV charging. We've got EV charging in the US, coming to Europe. We're going to bring it here as well. So you've got one app where you can integrate everything, you can see everything, and you can program it based on that one app. So let me just rather show our other slide here. I'm not familiar with Melville's slides. Before I come to before I come to our battery, I just want to talk about third-party integration, including with Victron, with Tesla, etc. So, we haven't brought our battery yet to South Africa, but it's coming. We're going to launch it in January, February next year. And we want you to install it at the high-end homes that you're quoting. But in the meantime, what we've been doing is we've been learning a lot about integrating our microinverters with other battery systems. So these are some of the brands we're working with. Tesla Powerwall, we're doing well with Tesla Powerwall. Tesla actually needs a solar inverter with a Powerwall, if you're aware. So we have a lot of cases of Tesla Powerwall. And think about it, Tesla is a high-end brand, Enphase is a high-end brand. You're getting a really good system for your money. Similarly, very high-end brand is Victron. I think you guys know Victron. There's a lot of installers putting Victron with Enphase, and they're getting the benefits of safer solar or AC solar with Victron's proven experience with robust off-grid systems. We know that Victron is synonymous with off-grid and good off-grid, I'd say. So we're seeing some of the installers like integrating the two of them. And the way you do that, it's the same with SunSync and DAE and Apex, which Rubicon is selling. The way you do that is through AC coupling. So what is AC coupling? You can plug in microinverters, as I said before, anywhere where there's an AC network. Right? So you can plug it on the nominal side, on the grid side, but when the grid goes down, the micros are going to go down too. Right? AC coupling, now you're plugging it in on the output side of any battery inverter. Right? Victron or Tesla, or SunSync. In fact, SunSync data, you can plug it into the generator port, and you can program on the software. It actually has microinverters ready for you. So they can see the value already of putting microinverters onto their system. So basically what that means is AC coupling, if you're plugging in on the output of a battery inverter, it means that even if the grid goes down and the battery inverter makes an island, it will still produce energy on that island, on the AC network. It will go into the loads of that network, it will reduce the demand on the battery, and it will also charge the battery on the output side of the battery. Right? So one of the challenges, when the battery gets full, you need to stop charging the battery. Right? You don't want to overcharge the battery. So you need to issue an instruction to the microinverters, and that we do through frequency shifting. And that basically tells the microinverters, whoa, slow down on the solar, let's stop charging, now we're at full capacity on the battery. We don't want to damage the battery. So that's called frequency shifting. All of those brands can do frequency shifting. And we've shown that well in the market, it works well. I don't know if you guys have any experience with frequency shifting or AC coupling. I see some nods. So the other thing is communication. So we have been a bit spoiled in the US because we have an all-in-Enphase system. And we haven't been talking to other systems. But we have to be a bit more opportunistic in the emerging markets. And we're starting to talk to Modbus, SunSpec communication protocol. We're starting to open up our communications to other platforms. So that's a work in progress, and it's coming this direction.
Sorry, I have one question.
Yeah.
How many installers have done the MDU kind of installation? The central battery, central kind of stuff?
With the multi-dwelling units.
Have you guys done that? Just single home? Just basically you have a couple hundred homes in a community, and you do a central big battery inverter, like 100 ton on.
Not a couple hundred.
Like 5, right? You're done, okay. Yeah, that's perfect. Also, Enphase can work with that. Big battery inverters. You can put those, Enphase solar in each home, and you have a central, battery inverter.
So some of the bigger estates are doing this. They're using SunSync 50 kilowatt hour. They're using ATES, right? We see a trend in the market where the guys are putting in big batteries. It's a bit of a challenge because it's a single point of failure. If that battery goes down, it's going to be a challenge, right? Maybe a better architecture is to have more batteries distributed. But effectively, we can plug in anywhere on the AC network with the solar, which is nice because now you don't have to run DC cables back to the battery. It's a better architecture in some ways. So I want to get onto the Enphase battery. So this is, by the way, we'll send you, if you want to get any SLDs or help with the technical on the AC coupling, we'll provide that data for you. We'll help you with your design and your project. Okay, on the Enphase battery. So this is the battery we're about to launch in January and February next year. We're going to train up installers to use the battery, how to install the battery efficiently and timelessly. And it's made up of two 5 kilowatt hour batteries. These are AC batteries. They're not like a DC lithium iron phosphate. This is an AC intelligent battery. And if one goes down, the other one will still be working. We're going to sell it as a pair. It's minimum 10 kilowatt hours. The output of this pair is about 7.7 kVA, continuous output. And it can go up to about 200% output for about 5 seconds. So it's a very powerful pair, this battery. This is designed for high-end homes, for schools, for fuel stations, small commercial applications, right? Game lodges, you can think of different applications for this. So we sell it as two 5 kilowatt hour units, and this is the system controller. The system controller performs the same function as the gateway. It communicates with the customer's Wi-Fi and controls the grid islanding off and on to the islanding mode with the grid. So that's the one that has to be compliant with the NRS and the Cape Town list, right? So that is how we're going to sell it. Some of the advantages: 15-year warranty. I don't know any other battery that's offering 15 years. This is an energy storage system. It's not just a battery. I think SolarMD is offering 12 years, right? It has no fan. It's a quiet unit. It's got a more stable chemistry than a Tesla Powerwall, because it's lithium iron phosphate as opposed to lithium NCM, which is probably not the best chemistry from a fire safety perspective. And I don't want to diss Tesla too much here, but we believe we have a more stable and safer chemistry than Tesla Powerwall. The problem we have is to raise the Enphase brand so people understand what is the Enphase brand in South Africa. They don't yet know Enphase in South Africa. But when they do, it's going to start happening next year. They're going to start coming for us. So we're going to give Tesla a run, right? Famous last week. So there is going to be no fan, as I mentioned. What else? There's one app. A major plus is that the actual battery on site, if there is a fault, only half of it may go down. The other half will still be working fine. The customer is not going to get irate. Why is my system not working? How long is it going to take for you, Mr. Installer, to replace it? Because this side is going to be working fine. All right? These are two independent batteries. We're just selling them as a pair. Even if there's a fault on one of these batteries, you open it up. In fact, we open it up with our field service technical, and we replace the microinverters that are built into the battery. So 70% of all faults can be fixed on site in a matter of hours, as opposed to going back to the distributor saying, hey, can you give us an extra battery, and how many weeks do you have to wait for that Victron to come back from wherever it is? Sorry to mention Victron again. So we believe we have a high level of redundancy, and that will offer a more seamless quality of service to the customer. It will also offer you more time to focus on new business, on growing your business, as opposed to going back to the site and solving the many problems on site, which may be not due to your own concern, but the quality of the product that you're installing in the first place. So we think we've got a very good offering for you, and we're excited to do more training in the new year when we launch the battery. I wanted to just show some ideas of how to sell the product in the market. The first two, you can't really see, but I'm going to distribute these slides through Greenwich. If you want them, you can get them. Bundle 1 is 4 microinverters, the smaller kind, 2 kilowatts, right? 4 microinverters, a gateway, cables, and a pre-wired board for about 12,000 Rand. Okay, that's an installer price, right? And that would be for, for let's say multi-dwelling units. Remember, there's no battery on that bundle. You can put it on the roof of a multi-dwelling unit, where there's some roof space available. You can put 4 panels, and that will effectively be for 12,000 Rand. You're buying a 25-year warranty, and it's a starter pack. You can always expand onto that. You can put storage onto that. You can put a SunSync 3 kilowatt hour unit onto that if you want. You can be quite creative with how to use that product. It offsets the water heating bill. for the customer, and it may even comply with the new building regulations, where 50% of water heating must come from renewable sources. I think you guys might know about that. So that's going to be quite an interesting product for that gap. And think about it, we start to offer now a very high quality solar product to the middle market, not just the top end of the market. So you can go after the multi-dwelling units, the housing estates with this kind of product. That's 4 microinverters for 12,000 Rand. Bundle 2, this is now 20 microinverters with the same gateway, the same cables, etc. This can be added to a SunSync, Tesla, or Victron system. You could also upgrade the existing system. Maybe the customer has got 50% solar generation against their bill, and they want to go up to 100% solar generation. And you can add on to the existing system that's there. As I mentioned, you can AC couple it to a Victron or to a SunSync, etc. So that's 11 kilowatts of solar for about 48,000 Rand. High-end homes or add to existing systems. Bundle 4, this is for more commercial, 60 microinverters, about 33 kilowatts. Now you're using, because you're using 60 microinverters, you're using a bigger microinverter for a bigger panel. So we're using here in this example a 650 watt panel, and then you need the more powerful commercial microinverters for that application. Right? So that system is about 130,000 Rand. And again, that can be added to small commercial systems, corporate offices, schools, agricultural applications, fuel stations, etc. So this is the bundles we're putting together. Bundle 3 is the battery. That's 10 kilowatt hours of battery with a full battery integrated inverter with the grid communications and all of the software and support, 15-year warranty. We can sell that for about 145, right? Compared to what a full system of a SunSync would be about 80,000, right? So it's quite a significant premium to a SunSync system with a cheaper battery, but we're going for higher spec in the market, higher paying customer, and we're looking to finance these systems. So if you are working already with a financial institution that's financing the systems for your customer, whether it's a bank or a platform company, then they should be very comfortable with Enphase as a warranty supplier to that system. So we believe that we will sell, even at a higher price, it's similar to a Tesla Powerwall price, at about 145,000. We will sell those to the right market, and I hope you will too. And then bundle 5, this is what I've neglected to mention with our batteries, you can stack it up. Starting at 10 kilowatt hours, you can stack it to 20 to 30, 40 kilowatt hours of battery, and the output power increases from about 7.5 kVA, double that up to 15 kVA, 22, and up to 30 kVA. So you're starting to really provide a nice stackable system to the customer, and that's a very powerful system. You can also put one single phase backup onto three different loads. Three different phases. We're not yet able to provide a true 3-phase backup system, but that's coming. We're looking to launch that next year. Why are you shaking your head? You mustn't say that. We'll launch that later on. But the true 3-phase backup, I think people are struggling with that at the moment. If you want 3-phase backup right now, you can do it with some other products, and we can plug into those products. So that's the battery. Are there any questions people have?
So you're mentioning that product can plug in at any point. So if you have an existing backup system, off-grid backup system with a changeover switch, so you're running on your essential loads.
Yes.
And then essentially, obviously, it has to have sufficient cable size. And there's no point in putting it onto a 16 amp phase and trying to feed 50 amps back along the line. But so you're saying you can add it up at a point near the roof as long as you have sufficient capacity on the cable between there.
That's
and the
about right. Yes.
That you feed.
Yeah, you should. Anywhere you plug in an Enphase system, as long as there's an AC reference, which is within our voltage range, which is standard grid voltage range, it will work. It will synchronize and it will work. If it's out of voltage range, sometimes in South Africa, it goes out of range, it's going to stop working. So, there's some of those projects at the end of the line we've got to be careful on. So
what is the range?
The range, that's a good question. You can try and find it on a microinverter. Do you have that stuff?
From airway to the micro, I think
Here we go.
50 meters.
The voltage range or the distance?
The voltage range.
Okay, let's see. Okay, operating voltage 184 to 279.
You should.
Not super fine,
It's
right?
like a 7-8.
If you're going above 278, then you've probably got other problems.
Yeah. So look, I mean, the point is we have introduced microinverters in the SM market. They work. We've learned a lot about integrating with third-party batteries. I see a lot of value in integrating with third-party batteries because they're already in the field. People already know how to do Victron, for example. They know how to do SunSync, and they're looking to add value, right? If everyone is selling SunSync, where's the customer going to go? It's going to go for the lowest price SunSync installer in the market, right? We're challenging you as installers. Offer a slightly differentiated product, offer a better product, and you can go for the better end of the market. You can start to stand out in terms of service, in terms of building your business longer term, to offer a better product. It's not for everyone in Enphase, and some customers will say, that's too expensive for us. But the smart ones who are really investing the money longer term, value for money, we will give that return to them. Yeah. Yes?
And how much would those microinverters cost?
How much do they cost?
Yeah.
Okay, so ballpark, I would say installer price between 2,000 and 2,500, depending on the size, per piece.
I'll ask the Brunich friends, so they can give you a quote.
So you can think, 10 micros, 10 panel system, 20 to 25 grand. That's, Greenwich is not in the room, so I can't get them to confirm. Right. Any other questions? Are you guys ready to be trained on the Enphase battery when we launch it? Do you want to come to the party with the Enphase battery? Okay.
So, just lastly on my side, as I mentioned, you guys can have a look, go to enphase.com. Right at the bottom of the website, you'll see it says English US. Just click on there and you can go to South Africa. And on that website, we have the documentation about, data sheets, warranty documentation as the gentleman asked. There's also different kinds of resources that the apps and stuff is there. This is not live yet. I don't know, there's a bit of a delay, the website is a little bit slow. So hopefully the university should be up and running within the next week. But if you have a team that you would like us to come out to you and then, show the products and do some product training with your team, at your company or, whoever, you can just give us a call or drop us an email. And then obviously we will then set up a meeting and come out to you. To give you an example, we have to go up to Hartswater, I don't know where the hell it is, things like that. Where two gentlemen requested us. So we do travel around, so it's not a problem. If you want to, you can we have webinars that will be online that you can access, hopefully as soon as the website is finished, that you can access. There is obviously other training, England and Germany and them has also got webinars and so on, they just sort in South Africa. But then Enphase University where you can get certification to install the IQ8 and also install the battery, which as you know is a requirement for the products that you install.
One last thing. Ross just left the room, but he made the offer in Durban, and we'll make the offer to you guys, which is these gateway units. It's back, so I've got to be careful what I say. So these gateway units, they worth about 3.5 grand. We will give them away for your first install. If you buy minimum 4 micros, preferably this quarter, would be nice. We'll give you one of these with the 4 micros. Obviously, you buy the 4 micros from Spanish. We'll throw out the value of this for free. And I'm just encouraging you, get started with Enphase. You're going to love the first project. You're going to see how it can change your life. And looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, we have installed more than 300 projects in this country. There are more than 10,000 micros. They all work very nicely as of today. So, we have one large customer, actually, U.S. Embassy. They're putting like 400 homes now. They're installing every day, every week. We're installing probably 10 homes.
So we can
big
get
projects.
companies
with,
US
US
Embassy.
Just a question here.
The question might be silly, but obviously the like 25 years is great. And every, I don't know, it's every year, every so many years you bring out new modules, right? Like you're doing now between the 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
I'm assuming like with anything when it's new, it's better. What happens with the customer if they want to upgrade between to the new model, but they're sitting with a 25-year warranty, and they say we want to go to the new model? Like, have you guys experienced that before? Like, what do you do with swapping them out to new ones? Do they just discard the old ones and buy new ones? Is it even viable to do that?
Well, right now there's not much difference between the 7 series and the 8 series. It's a bit like an iPhone. If you buy the 13 or 14, there's not a huge amount of difference.
I'm just thinking over a 25-year period, there's probably going to be quite a bit of technology.
Yeah.
Every 5 years, so.
If the panel is on the roof and the micro is on the roof and working perfectly, why you put more money? All you need is electricity, right? So
Well,
unless
why do you make a new model if the old one's working?
new,
It's better.
Yeah, it's
It's
incrementally better.
Okay.
But the good news is that you can use any panels as long as the microinverter is on the same generation. You're going to be okay. So you can,
Just get a replacement cost.
yeah.
But it's the whole.
Yeah, and the 7s and the 8s are very similar. The one difference is the power is you get more power on the panels. So as the industry goes towards higher